Yeah. All right, we're live. Yes, YouTube. We're live. Welcome. This is Super Sunday Preview Show. On the next show with your boy Deli G in the lab, back in his house. All right, first live show of the year of the channel. Here we go. All right, so quite a bit has happened since you last saw my pretty face on YouTube. And we're going to talk about a bit about those things. With reference to the major North American sports. So, what's going on in hockey? What's going on in basketball? And of course, the big game that we have on TV today between the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, first home Super Bowl that team has ever played in. Crazy. And leave it to Goat Tom to do it. You know what I mean? If anybody's gonna do it, it should be the goat quarterback. Goat quarterback. So yeah, I'll get to my prediction later on after we discuss a few things, and then we'll see what happens from then on out. So yeah, and then also make sure to stay tuned because we're also going live to open these babies right here. This box of Panini Contenders. Boo! Panini Contenders football. So we're going to do the live break. We'll see what we end up with. Hopefully, fingers crossed for some kind of auto. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. That'd be nice, huh? On a day like this. All right, so, as far as what's been going on since y'all last saw me, seems that in the NHL, Vancouver and Edmonton seem to be a dumpster fire. They got to do something. Stop the bleeding. So I've been watching highlights, and they certainly don't look like playoff teams, let alone contending teams. So I don't know, man. I don't know. They got to do something, especially Vancouver, man. That was just hurt last two games, man. They just look bad. I mean, I'll give a smidge of credit to the Leafs, but not that much, man. They're going to be great in the regular season. Everybody knows this. So, but we'll see what happens in the first round. Philly's cruising. I can't get too much into Philly. I mean, the only thing that's been going bad is every time they have to play the Bruins, it just goes horribly wrong. So, it seems that as long as they're not playing Boston, they're doing pretty well. They're doing all right. So, yeah, I mean, Philly, just keep on chugging, find a way to beat Boston, and you'll go far this season. And the Raptors seem to be back on track too, which is nice. They got a few wins here. They had a little 4-game win streak. I think they won like 7 of their last 9 or something like that, or their last 8. So they're definitely chugging along. And the Lakers, the Lakers very impressive, man. Bron is making a really awesome case for MVP this year. A really awesome case. So, they gotta curtail his minutes and everything. Make sure that he's healthy and prepared all season. If they can do that, that's certainly a team to watch out for, and a team that is in position to repeat. So there you have it. There's really not much else that I could talk about, really. I mean, I'm trying to think here. I mean, like if you want me to get into, I already talked a bit about what happened to McGregor. He wasn't very impressive whatsoever. And just huge credit to Dustin Poirier for coming out, having a game plan, and executing it, man. And just staying in the game and staying in shape. So certainly all those things benefited him and contributed to the downfall of McGregor. So I mean, I went on Sportsnet after, and I was like, look, this man got 3 options: retire, go to WWE, or fight the YouTube guy, aka Jake Paul. So that drew a few laughs and everything, but in all seriousness, man, instead of doing a bunch of stupid shit, he should have just stayed true to the craft and got his reps in and not had given up on the people that got him to championships and stuff. Like even Khabib acknowledged this, that he shouldn't build around and switched sparring teams and stuff like that, or drop members of the sparring team. So yeah, man, you got to ride or die with those guys, through the good and the bad. It's you're only as good as your weakest link, I say. So, um, you know, hey man, we'll see what happens. But I don't see this guy, contending for titles anytime soon. I'll tell you all that much. Um, yeah. Really nothing else I want to mention. Because a Team Spain sweater. There's not really much going on with Barcelona, and Messi's on the decline, and that's a shame because I don't think Suarez is the answer, and Neymar ain't coming back. So it's gonna have to be a few years of rebuild for Barca, unfortunately. But it happens to everybody, and they had their time. They had a sustained, long term. What do I want to say here? They had sustained success for a very long period of time. So, you know, I'm not, for how bad they're doing now or that they're going to do for the next few years, man. I'm not going to complain with that because I've seen a lot of trophies, a lot of championships. In my time being a Barca fan, so I'm not gonna complain at all when it comes to that. All right, so really, last thing to do here is give my prediction on who's going to win the big game in a couple of hours. Well, first I want to talk a bit about what I've seen from each of the teams to get to where they were. Basically, I'll start with Kansas City because this is going to be like very brief. Because honestly, from week one, they're basically in cruise control. They're probably the most because they were there, last year and they could have been there in the first year, but I think that despite COVID and despite everything else that's been happening, they're probably the most consistent team, the team with the most continuity. I'm trying to say, so they've had continuity basically all year, stemming from the last 2 years, especially on offense. They've had some turnover on defense, but the defense has come along as the season has progressed, and now they have to play at their highest ultimate level. I think this is why they give them a week off, because basically a time to relax, heal up any bumps and bruises that you might have from the season, and just come out with your best mentally and physically and emotionally. So I think Kansas City is definitely ready. I think they watch a lot of film. Andy Reid and his staff are definitely some of the best in the league. That's why obviously they've gotten to where they were, with or without Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is elite, obviously, but they've been to playoffs and playoff games with Alex Smith. So the scheming is definitely there, regardless of who you put in. But I think having Pat Mahomes there, just kind of puts him over the top, in my opinion. That's kind of how I feel about his place on the team. Now, when you talk about the Bucs, it's crazy because here's a team in Kansas City that has had the most continuity and the most stability last couple of years, and then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have the Bucs, a team who basically came together in the offseason, and you're talking about adding 4 new impact guys to the roster. So you had to get Gronk in the offseason without, practice or OTAs or anything like that. You had to get Gronk, you had to get Fournette, you had to get Tom, and you had to get AB on there. Now, yes, a lot of the team was still intact, and I think BA made some additions on defense, and there's a couple of new guys on there in the secondary, so they're kind of growing as the season progresses as well. But I think that with the Bucs, yes, it's only 4 dudes when you're talking about 11 on 11, on offense and defense, but it's 4 impact dudes on offense. These are guys who have played at a high level and have won playoff games and everything. So yes, they're gonna know what it takes to win, and that's sort of the mentality and the culture that they're bringing after all those brutal years with Winston just turning the ball over constantly. But hey, they're here now with those guys, and it's crazy, man, how far they've gotten. Just with the lack of preparation and preseason and all that. That's basically all on Tom, man. Yeah, it's just his aura, his presence, just makes you feel like a winner anytime you're playing with the guy. So, um, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I want to give a slight edge to Kansas City because of all the things that I just said. But at the same time, man, it's like what Skip Bayless says all the time, man. If there's one guy that you don't want to doubt when all the chips are pushed to the front of the table, it is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Okay, and the one time I went against him in the playoffs, I got bit in the ass for it. I was doing pretty well in my picks over the course of the season and the postseason. And I picked them to lose against the Saints. And here he comes. He just comes marching back. And then, he comes back to play in Lambeau, and then he does his thing there. I mean, almost gave the game away, really, in the second half. But, came out in the first half and just lit it up. So, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a serious game. I just don't know if the Bucs defense is gonna be able to handle Tyreek, man, because that guy is gonna be all over the field. So it's really tough, man. Oh, I almost want there to be 2 trophies. Can't there be 2 trophies to give away? Can't they just play to overtime and then a tie or something, and then you just give them both a trophy because they deserve it? No, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So I have to pick a winner, and there also has to be a loser. So I don't know, man. It's so tough. For all the marbles, I'm gonna have to take the Chiefs, man. I'm taking the Chiefs. It's official. That's it. Chiefs, but I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Could go to overtime. It'll get into the 30s, into the early mid-30s. I would say maybe like 35, 38, something like that. Yeah, man. I mean, I know Tom is the GOAT, and I should be picking him just like everybody in Tampa Bay will, and a few people in New England rooting for him and whatnot, and crying that he's not back on their team. But it wouldn't have made a difference, really, because he got nobody to throw to, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But there's gonna be a few people there in Boston, New England, cheering him on and everything still. But I just think just Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, I think, are gonna be too much. So that's what I think. So there it is, guys. There it is. I got the Chiefs 38-35 or something close to that. It'll be close within a field goal. Chiefs 38-35. So there it is, guys. That's it. That's my big pick. So let's hope it works out. And I'm gonna end the stream for now. But keep it locked, guys, because again, coming up very shortly, we're gonna do the big reveal to see what's in this blaster baby right here. Panini Contenders 2020 NFL football. So stick around for that, guys. This has been your boy Deli G, and this has been another episode of the next show. Keep it locked for the break. All right, peace out. Bye.